One game down and one upset already. Jönköping is already proving to be an event to remember here for DreamHack Winter. It is none other than the ZOWIE Open. 8 of your favorite CS teams are doing battle to try and go ahead and prove that they are worth the $100,000 prize pool. It's going to be awesome and it is going to be fun, especially considering I'm joined by 2 of my compadres, my associates, my friends. It's none other than Jason Moses O'Toole and Janko YNK Paunovic. I will forever look at the wrong camera first. It's just how I like to roll. And the first game has blown our minds. Just to quickly recap, Dignitas coming in as hot favorites, seen by many as the world number 3 and already bested by Team Kinguin, a team who are well, further away from the top 10 list than most expected.
And Fallen wasn't even in the game.
And Fallen wasn't even in the game, and minds have been
mind-blowing performance.
Oh, that will forever follow me. Actually, when we were in Sao Paulo, I had people come up to me and want to record me saying, "Fallen, stop blowing my mind." I'm a meme in Brazil. It's great. Okay, so let's go. Cloud9 Renegades. It's our second match, and already we have got a little bit of apprehension coming into this one because, I mean, even in the pre-match, right, Jason, you said that Renegades are a team not to be underestimated, especially when they meet, and I'm air quoting every time, a domestic team. And I'll let you explain why we're referring to Renegades as a domestic rival.
Yeah, they've spent a lot of time, obviously, in North America. They moved over here a while back, and now, I mean, they're living Detroit Renegades, brought by Sweden's own Jonas Repko. Former player of the Detroit Pistons, who's one of my favorite basketball teams. So, anyway, moving on.
No,
yeah,
hey,
they're staying.
From Moses and on to the teams.
But no, they're staying in North America. I mean, they're competing in all the North American professional leagues, and they're competing against all these guys, practicing with all these guys. So it does fall in, at least in my opinion, this falls into that domestic matchup where we've seen them be a little bit dicey in the past. Even like some of the Dignitas Astralis matchups when Astralis was one of the best teams in the world, those at times got closer than people would have expected. And part of it is that domestic rivalry that goes on. So this falls into that category.
And there's more North America in Group B as well. We can bring it up and you can see Optic Gaming are residing within the B group as well. Just Gambit rounding out that 4-man squad. And it is going to be intriguing to see just how far Gambit returning legendary status can perform later on today. But when you look at Cloud9 Renegades, I think my main question is, I want to run with this thread that Jason has already started to pull, Janko, is that a lot of people, especially, you know, from the Australian region, are favorite Chad Birchall would often come in with the, not excuse, but the response, we don't have an opportunity to practice against some, you know, tier 1 opposition domestically. It just doesn't happen. We're the best in Australia and we couldn't break out. Now they've had that opportunity. They have gone to Australia, gone to North America and had that chance. Do you believe that there has been a genuine improvement? Have they seen that kind of turn of skill?
Funnily enough, I think they're actually a team similar to Kinguin that we had in the last matchup, a team that has skill, a lot of skill. That's not their problem, but even not that they lack like depth or tactics or, you know, structure, but they seem to, in these situations when they're just supposed to get that win, when they're put themselves even in a position to win, they start making like small mistakes, crumbling under pressure, and they just lose out in the biggest of tournaments, right, at the biggest of stages for them. So I feel it's about, that's why they made the last roster change as well, feeling that change is going to be what's going to take them to the highest level. Unfortunately, because of the Pro League clashing with the minor, for their region, they couldn't attend Pro League finals, which they qualified for. So I think time will tell still. I was hoping that they would manage to qualify for Oakland in the iBuyPower Masters tournament, but they failed to achieve that.
And I mean, my question to you actually is, how much better do they look now as opposed to the Renegades, the Vox Eminor, who first burst onto the scene? I mean, there's 3 different players, right, Jason? I mean, you got no Top Gun, which was the first change, no Havoc, which was the second, and no Sponge, which was the third. This is almost a completely different roster, and yet have their results dramatically improved?
No, I mean, that's the crazy thing is even just looking at them and you know, apologies to chat for this right off the bat. I actually think they look better right now without Sponge in this lineup. I think they look better, but they haven't achieved anything more than what they did with him in the roster. So that's kind of the crazy thing. This team still hasn't kind of eclipsed that previous roster despite an increase in the skill. And it does, a lot of it comes down to just some collapses. I mean, even if we watch, I know, you know, Chad, when we were just with him in Brazil, like watching some of those the games over in the Asian minor, you see Renegades losing, he's like, they just always, for whatever reason, just find a way to lose the game, and it's very similar to how they did it when he was in the roster. So that's the big question mark. But I mean, there's no doubt this team is skilled. One of the big things, I think, maybe not holding them back, but preventing them from getting better. Well, I guess that's actually the same thing now that I said that out loud. But you know, the fact that they have these 2 stars on this team, Aza and JKS, who we've been touting as like these. There's obviously talent level and star potential in these 2 players to be like a very strong duo. You could even compare what's, you know, Yenko just did the comparison to Kingwin. We can even look at Dignitas and say, if you look at those two players, they can be the config and Magisboy. They might not have as high of a ceiling, but these are the two players. That's the duo that this team needs to really rely on if they're going to take that next step and be able to be dangerous on a consistent basis, and they haven't done it for some time.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky, of course, a recent addition in terms of trying to find that AWP presence. They lost it with Havoc, and now he's back alongside Yam. They have this really weird back and forth.
They have a very strong double op setup, and still, I mean, Ricky, obviously, we saw what he did, and this is again like another similar thing to Alza and JKS, where we look back at the performances that have shown us that these players have what it takes. I mean, even Ricky was the one with immunity against
Cloud9. No, G2.
Cloud9 or G2, yeah, who was at G2.Kingwin or something.
Yeah,
like that. That was in Cologne 2015, where he went off on Dust2, and it was like, I don't think they won that. I think they lost it like 16-14, but his individual performance was just like, all right, this guy is going to be the next big thing out of Australia. And we still reference that because there's nothing since that period to where we can say he's shown that potential again.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they do match up versus Cloud9. You are seeing the boys on your screen now. Now, Yenko, this is a team that have, I mean, very recently become the North American team to beat. They have risen to the point where they're contending with the best in Europe. And I mean, this has been a very recent transition. And one of the men on your screen seems to be the hype surrounding him, Stewie. Talking to Dazed, he seems to hold he holds a special little shrine to Stewie and what he's done to North America.
Yeah, definitely it's him and Automatic, the two players that are in the spotlight the most recently in regards to their success. Stewie, because he's just, you know, when he was first brought on into the team, a lot of people were questioning his addition. Maybe they should have gone for a more established player. But a couple of months into his tenure at Cloud9, he started playing much better. He became the star of the team. And now it's not as much being the star of the team as it is being the playmaker for the team, being the one creating space, seeing as how he's the in-game leader of the team as well. And Automatic, a player who came in over from TSM, and I don't think a lot of people really regarded him as a star player. He didn't really put up that type of a performance in TSM, maybe just glimpses of it, but in Cloud9 had some amazing performances. The MVP of Pro League Finals tournament, which Cloud9 won, which is the first international tournament that a North American team won since 2006. So a huge achievement.
Not embarrassing at all.
Absolutely crazy.
Not embarrassing.
Even Moses was active then.
A year ago, North American CS was this stupid thing spammed in Twitch chat and on analyst desks, and now we're sitting here saying Cloud9 top contenders, and here we do see the map veto going down. It will be Renegades who have chosen to remove Overpass and Mirage. Cloud9 taking out Train. Not a map that we've actually, you know, we haven't seen from them. In fact, they were playing it very recently in over in Oakland.
That's very interesting from Cloud9 because they regard Train as one of their best maps. Even first pick it in best of 3 sometimes.
It's also a map that Renegades. It's one of the maps that they've always liked to play under various different lineups. They've very much liked it, especially against other NA teams. It's a map they like to play. So maybe Cloud9 just doing a little bit of a respect band with the, you know, they got to come into this expecting that they have the deeper map pool. This is going to end on Dust2. I mean, Cloud9 Nuke is one of the maps they've perma-banned, and Dust2 and Mirage are the two maps that basically carried them to that ESL Pro League win in Brazil. So, I mean, I think they played Dust2 like 6 times at that event. So no surprises there that it ends up on Dust2. And that's going to be, I think that's a little bit actually scary for Renegades.
What's also so scary is head-to-head, Cloud9 are the giants of this matchup. They've met 14 times and 12 of them have gone Cloud9's way. What is so agonizing, though, and it's worth noting, is that for the majority of those wins Cloud9 have secured, it's in overtimes, it's 16-14s. Renegades get oh so close. In fact, I can see, just from the top of my head, 1, 2, 3, 4 recent results which went 19-16 in favor of Cloud9. And then some 16-14s on top of that. That's just a testament to this, not choking, but this struggling to get over the finish line that I think Chad has spoken about, we've spoken about. Renegades do have this little bit of a problem.
I mean, why not call it a choke? We call other teams in the same situation a choke. You can call them chokers as well, because what choking means is crumbling under pressure, not performing up to your usual levels because of the pressure that mounts up. I think it's a fair statement for Renegades, at least for games before. And that tells you, obviously, overtime games, 16-14 games, that's one round. And rounds are being lost by the smallest of margins and smallest of individual mistakes. So I think it's just about being focused and putting yourself in a state of mind that not really thinking about the result or just trying to think what is the best move I can make to help my team win the round. And as long as you have that mindset, that will basically limit the amount of mistakes you make.
So with the map being Dust2 and with the game nearly upon us, I want to start asking for any kind of things to watch out for in terms of Cloud9. You've seen an awful lot of Cloud9 recently. Dust2 in particular is a map that they're no stranger to. What do we have to look forward to as a viewer coming into Cloud9's Dust2?
I think when you think about Cloud9 on the T side, the big thing that strikes around it is the tendency of Stewie to lead very, very aggressive and very fast-paced attacks down mid. He's a player on the T side who will literally just rush down mid ramp and get out mid as fast as humanly possible and see what he finds, and they build on it from there. The other strategy we saw him bring out in Brazil a couple times was that weird, like, very fast-paced, like, mid to B split, where they have 3 in upper B, they have 1 come out mid, and 1 rush catwalk and just drop down as fast as humanly possible. So they're going to do these fast-paced, aggressive tactics, and it is going to be Stewie and Automatic who kind of lead the way. They have a timing push at the upper B tunnels that they'll do, like, 30, 40 seconds into the round. They'll just walk into B unannounced. So, I mean, those are the kind of some of the things you have to watch out for on the T side. And then CT side is as we always know, it's going to be Skadoodle over at Car. You always know he's going to be there. So, I mean, that's going to be the big thing, is how effective is he going to be on that defensive side of things? Because for me, if you know someone is in the same position so frequently, he becomes like the linchpin of your defense, because that's where teams can look to really kind of exploit that.
Yeah, a lot of pressure always on Skadoodle on that CT side. Do you think that's probably one of the biggest win conditions for them, Yanko, is if that ult presence is firing on all cylinders, given that you feel like Stewie and Automatic are almost a guarantee?
I think it is also because Dust2 is a map where just even oppers that are not performing up to their usual, you know, standards, like Smith, for example, we always say that even though he might not be at the level of some of the other top oppers in other top tier teams, on Dust2 he's always super solid, because it's a map where it's really easy for you to play the passive angles, just play for 1 kill, stay alive, play for the retake towards that A bomb set. And even Skadoodle has had some notable performances on Dust2, even if you could argue that his level has dropped from what we've perhaps been used to.
And so predictions. Renegades versus Cloud9. It's safe to say you guys are going to be leaning towards Cloud9. You've already suggested just how strong Skadoodle could be on this map. I just want to clarify, though. Are we going North America?
Yeah, the one thing that Cloud9 has been good on in this recent run of form of theirs is beating the teams that they should beat, and they usually beat them very solidly. So, I mean, it's good that you bring up the fact that so many of these matches have been close, but one of the areas, especially against Tier 2 teams, Cloud9 has just been bodying them in matches.
Looking forward to it.
And also, I think one of the reasons why Cloud9 has been so dominant, they've generally been dominant against domestic opposition, right, in North America, and their individual players feel much more comfortable. Shroud probably the most. So with all of that, I'm going with Cloud9 as well.
All right, 2 for Cloud9. Will the Aussie Orps do what they have to do on Dust2 to cause another upset? Can we really go 2 out of 2 to start off this tournament here for DreamHack Winter ZOWIE Open? We're about to find out. Your casters and the game is ready. It will be Dust2, and if you are about to leave, if you're sitting there like, no, I really want to see how this plays out, you can still keep track of it while you go ahead and run your errands with the Score eSports application. You can keep track of the round-by-round score. You can even check out the stats if you want to see if your favorite player is performing. Is Skadoodle hitting those shots that we just outlined on the desk? And is Stewie going mad on the T side? Find out on the Score eSports, and we're going to go ahead and jump straight in. It's going to be Semler and Metis to guide you through our second game of the day.
Thanks a lot, Alex. So indeed, it will be Straya versus Murica. What do you reckon? It must be Cloud9, right?
What I reckon is I just got trolled so hard by the tournament admin here. This is great. I'm actually trying to flip through every page to see if it was... So I asked for the rules to be printed out, right? And so I've got the rules. I've got 2 pages of the rules. And then the rest, actually, Metas, there are no rules. Sup. Deal with it. All right, guys.
I'd say that's pretty much a troll.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't had that happen before. All right. So we're going to put that down there. What's up, everybody? Cloud9, yeah, exactly. NA versus Straya. I mean, you know, UK rejects in both cases. So, I mean, it is going to be knives out here, I suppose.
We got a Canadian as well, right? So, not quite as rejected.
It's fair. It's fair. You're right. You're right.
Just give him Shroud some love. Gotta give him some love.
Yeah, I mean, he needs it.
But obviously, after what we just witnessed in that first best of one, anything goes, really. I mean, that's the beauty and also the terror of a best of one in itself. It is possible if a team just starts slowly, if they have a poor day at the office, they'll get punished. Now, one of the reasons I think that you're looking at the rule set there is just to double check as to exactly what was going on in terms of the system. So effectively, a team can lose 2 best of ones and be knocked out of the tournament. That is devastating.
We're going back to the glory days where you're on point or get out, basically.
Yeah.
This is cutthroat here at DreamHack, and I like it. It's different. Everybody else, you know, sure, you can have a 5-day tournament. That's fine. You can drag it out. That's fine. But here at DreamHack, it is you win 2, you're through, you lose 2, you're out. And so Dignitas are going to be crying big salty tears about that. Unfortunately for them, they got off to a rough start. Kinguin, however, have given themselves a solid chance to fight it out for that first seed. And here we're going to see how it breaks down for Cloud9 and Renegades. And already, Skadoodle, bullet to the face to start things off.
I think we need the good old double escape, as we can't see the health or the ammo. Hopefully that'll get fixed pretty shortly, but what we can see is bullets landing on faces, and it's going very quickly in favor of Cloud9 as they will pick that one up in style. I think they only lost 1 player in the process. And the other worrying thing as well, as this is Group B, which is considered the group of death, the loser of this is going to be playing either Optic or Gambit. There are no easy games in this group.
No. I'm doomed. Okay, you're right. You're right, and the other thing that I'm thinking about here is just that this is, like, Cloud9 couldn't have got a better map to play this on. Because this is their stomping ground. This is where they completely and utterly destroy teams. So, so you have to wonder, are Renegades going to be able to withstand it? Because they definitely, you can see the comfort level there. Everything was set up, even with the attempt at trying to throw some misdirection there from Renegades, everything was set up for Cloud9 to completely and utterly destroy a B-split. And everybody hit their shots. Nothing in particular with the 2 headshots there to start things off. That really rattled the Aussies.
Yeah, it's hard to really contend with CTs when they have that pixel perfect aim with USP. Very powerful in the pistol rounds. Now Renegade's going to be congregating in mids. Pretty standard stuff for the terrorists. They figure out where they want to go next. They don't have any nades to really work off here to smoke off the CT side. This could leave Automatic in a bit of a lurch position. Has done a little bit of damage on the approach. Now we'll try and ban it down. But Azza comes through with a Tech 9 and makes short work of him. Stu2K's gone down as well. The Aussies will put that flag on B and get the bomb planted. It's going to be a hard one to keep off on the rotate. And the retake here for Cloud9, who are landing grenades, landing shots where it counts, but Yam is going to stand tall with the Deagle, lands himself 1 kill. Been looking for a second one. Skadoodle's scout will come in, and successful. And now JKS with the spray, gets the first one, switches to the Deagle. Nothing is incredibly low, but so is JKS. This next bullet can mean everything. He's missing out on shots, but lands the headshot at the end. And Renegades have pulled it back in round 2.
Okay, then. This is the kind of cutthroat that we've been looking for, I suppose, although we did get plenty of it in the first match of the day here, guys. You got to spread the word. Come watch the stream if you want it to be back and forth, unpredictable CS, because this is it. Like, Cloud9, they don't really skip, they don't really skimp in this round. They didn't cut any corners, and yet Renegades are just able to brute force it. Yam has got Lady Luck definitely, you know, giving him a big wink there. A smile to maybe a little bit of a nod with that Deagle spray where it just insta-gives nothing. But apart from that, I mean, that was just very solid work from Renegades. No fear, rushing in.
He also survived on 4 health, I think, as well. So, I mean, he definitely fortunate to win that round. But Cloud9 right back into this with a force. Interestingly, Skadoodle didn't go for the force. Obviously, wanting to keep that AWP fund somewhat brimming for the next round.
Yeah, that's the big point. We can look, I mean, Skadoodle looked pretty good there with the scout, that's for sure. He was hitting some shots, so we should be looking to him really to be that force of nature, that monster opper on this map for Cloud9. But then again, Renegades, they still got Yam, and they've got Ricket. They actually have options, right? So it's going to be fun to see how things go when both of these teams actually have a full buy going. Stewie2K going to get some shots to the face over there over on the B site, but the action is going to be on A site, where Renegades are just barreling forward up catwalk. Nobody there to stop him. Shroud is stuck in pit, and he does have Skadoodle there to watch his back as well. Stewie gets caught on the rotate. This should be a very clean-cut round here for Renegades. Ricket should not actually be expecting a second man there, but Yam with the scout's going to hit the headshot, and it's automatic, actually, to find 1 kill with the CZ75, and that should be about it. They're rushing him.
Yeah, he's running out of bullets, running out of health. JKS will survive with 1 health there, so he will retain his AK. Cloud9 will not have a buy into this round. It's mainly the next one that they're going to be looking at with Skadoodle on the aforementioned AWP. Already has 3.9k, so you'll have more than enough into the next round. Does Cloud9 have anything coming through into this? I think it's going to be a full-on eco in the purest sense of the terms. They've invested 0 into this round.
I like it. Hard eco.
Smart play.
Yeah.
Play, yeah, for sure.
Prioritize the nades. And while try and give yourself the best fighting chance. They're going to step out into the open here at long, get mowed down in droves. I like it. There's the flash. Not effective. Doesn't matter. Steelo and Ricket just cleaning house. And so that's Stewie and Automatic, the last two alive here for Cloud9 in this hard eco for him. Automatic will be able to pick up 1 kill with the USB. That was some excellent work from him. And Stewie, this time around, there's nobody at mid doors just yet. He might hear JKS stomping around, but JKS slows down just in time. And so that kind of leaves it now where, well, Stewie's just drawing this out, hoping to get lucky. Curious to see how things are going to break down here in this next round, though. It's the 5th round where everything is either going to come together for Renegades and they're going to get that very strong start, or Cloud9 are going to be able to get a grip on things once again. Because they won that pistol. They won that pistol. They should be up 3-0 right now, Cloud9.
Indeed. They should be rocking this one, but instead, ZOWIE may be able to salvage an AK, which was really all he was playing for, the best case scenario. And judging from the positions of the terrorists, they don't really want to give away too many weapons themselves, because they're not in a great financial situation. So ZOWIE will be able to hold on to this AK. It's going to bolster his buy into the next round. It's good news for the CTs, and as you highlighted, here we go. This is where the fireworks should start to take place. Can Skadoodle land some very important AWP frags?
Yeah, Rick has got the AWP now as well for Renegades, so he'll be in position. Dust2, we've seen some flash plays from him before on this map. He's certainly comfortable on it. And he's not going to get the timing right this time. So HE there to cover the cross, and the smoke goes down after it. Skadoodle, however, on catwalk. I mean, Renegades have made it pretty clear that they like it, and the flash, it was effective, but he's not going to hit the flick. Bit too quick there on the trigger, Ska.
Yeah, everything was looking good. He got boosted up, the flash was on point. Now Automatic, we've been here before. Last time it was a FAMAS, and he just got overrun, and this time it's going to be more of the same. Skadoodle and Stewie2K both come in with kills. However, Stewie2K with another one. That is beautiful spray control, but the problem is that Astillo and Yam have both claimed kills. So is it for naught? Yam is very low, but we've been here before, Semla.
Yeah, Ska's got the single flash, and he's already used it. Now life gets pretty difficult here. The smoke is going to go into Astillo's position. That's going to put him in a bit of an awkward spot. Nothing coming around the corner, going to walk right into his crosshairs, and that's all on Ska now to clutch this 1v2. He knows that Yam is low, but Astillo back there at Plateau is going to make his life difficult, and he has no kit. He has to pick it up. And it's not looking good here for Cloud9. He's just run out of time. He should actually just be running away now to save this AWP. Don't even risk losing it, Skadoodle. Hold on to the AWP. Make sure you can use it in the next round. He wants to get that last pick, but now he's giving himself up to Yam. Yam could make it around the corner, and there it is. Skadoodle not able to make anything happen. And Cloud9, it looked good for a second there, but that setup that they had was so scary because you could see it perfectly. Automatic was focused on doors. He was counting on Stewie to watch windows for him, but then that left Upper Dark. And unfortunately, they just didn't count on a guy coming through the smoke at Upper Dark.
There's so many question marks over that play by Skadoodle in the end. Like, oh, Ricky, never mind, takes down Stewie, but I mean, it's pretty much an eco round anyway. But what's the best case scenario there? He doesn't have a defuse kit. There's no chance he's winning the round. Best case is he gets the frag and he pulls himself back. But is it really worth the trade? Beautiful one tap by Automatic, keeping Cloud9 somewhat in this round, but I completely agree. I think as soon as you start to tick down, that has to be a case of just get the hell out of there.
Well, 2-on-2 retake of B, there are a few things harder, right? Even man, or even if they're up, like if Renegades are up a man on the retake on B, don't even attempt it. Even, you can question it, but like it's just without kits, with no time, no utility. Yeah, it's an impossible situation. It's almost worth it just to back off and not go for the hero play. JKS is going to rip Automatic's head off, and that opens up the B side here for Renegades to swarm on out. No problem at all. They've got every advantage here to just lock down this round, unless they go in peak shroud.
Whoa, okay. That was one hell of a Juan Dig, but now it's down to nothing. Going to be picking up the AK for himself. Has to stop for a few more moments as the mollies and the smokes keeping him at bay. He's going to get somewhat tickled by the flame on his way in, and they heard that as well. So this is asking a lot, and down he will go. I guess the point there for him, though, is he pretty much felt compelled to go in because for all he knows, there's a player actually pushing through the smoke that was thrown on doors into dead man anyway. So that makes a little bit more sense. But here is the wall bang shot, the second one. What is that?
Sick.
Stewie, just get sat.
Dude, that's what Rick is capable of. This guy has been flashed for so long. And now we're actually getting to see, you know, a bit of that level. I like it. We're going to see that versus Cloud9. And Cloud9 fully bought up now all of the grenades. And they went for a hard counter, or setting up a hard counter at A in case Renegades tried to go for a very aggressive A take. Instead, it's over in upper halls here for Renegades. The bomb is rotating over. It was a bit of a slow start, and it looked like they were trying to play off of Ricky, seeing if he could find that opening peak. So Yam and Shroud, the only casualties of war thus far. Neither of them have
perished though. Thought for a second there we were going to see nothing actually push through the doors. He was playing fairly aggressively. It is still information for his team. Looks like it's going to be the same old strat though for Renegades, just going to occupy through mid now, feeling their way out on the catwalk where Skadoodle is waiting. 5-1 though, great start for Renegades. And Cloud9, they desperately need this rifle round.
They need to put a stop to the bleeding. It is 5-1. Renegades in the lead, and right now it's the pressure that's going to start mounting. They have all of the nades necessary for this take, Renegades. And they still have JKS lurking outside a long house, so if nothing decides to go for some kind of late push, it's going to get tricky. Great wall of smoke, the flash on Goose. It couldn't have been better. What a beautiful take here for Renegades. Very thorough work. That's Skadoodle trying to fall back now. And JKS has still got him boxed in at long. He's still waiting top mid right now for the rotator.
Exquisite round of CS so far by Renegades, and it's getting better and better as time goes on. Skadoodle is the only player to answer back thus far. There's a couple players low, one of which was Yam. He has been silenced courtesy of nothing. And now Az is on 34 health. So the retake could very well be a success, but Skadoodle's gone down. That's a big power play that goes with him. Nothing and Stewie aren't exactly full on health themselves. Az is waiting around the side, biding his time, almost baiting out his teammates so he can land the frag. Beautiful play by Renegades. 6-1. Cloud9 are reeling.
They are looking excellent right now, Renegades. Despite a little bit of a shaky beginning to that hold, JKS was the linchpin there. The fact that he was able to delay, to come back through long, and manage to pick up a kill on slope, that turned everything around for Renegades in that scenario. And the 2v2 is just so difficult for Cloud9 to actually get on that bomb and stick it. And so now back to pistols here for Cloud9. Renegades up to 6 rounds and nearly getting the strong start there, JKS. He was so close through the smoke to landing that shot. Stewie trying to go aggro upper halls, but again, Ustillo, this is his domain. And we're just seeing that flat default out of Renegades right now. And nothing fancy.
The other worrying thing for Cloud9 is this hasn't been a case of Renegades just doing the same tactic over and over again. They've been successful on B through a tunnel push, through a mid push, been successful on A multiple times. So at this point, it's not a case that they've necessarily found a weakness and they're just constantly poking and probing, and you can fix that by rotating a player over. They've been wrecking Cloud9 across the board.
They found weakness everywhere.
Exactly.
Now we have to see if they are eventually, once they get rebuffed, are they going to go for that aggressive long take? Because they haven't really taken over long just yet. So that'll be the option. Another one there. Nice anti-flash from Renegade, or rather to slow down Renegades, and there's Shroud again. Ricky taking Az's head off as well as Shroud. Yeah. That's not quite the desired result, however. And this is actually prompting a rotation out of Renegades. They're going to go through upper halls towards that B site. Nobody is there for Cloud9. This could work out just fine.
Automatic could be the last line of defense, though, because he's already set his foot firmly on the ground for the 1D. But that smoke is going to throw caution to the wind for Renegades as they charge onto the site, get the bomb planted. Now it's all about this next couple moments, and nothing is going to land himself the first kill. Ustillo is very low. JKS is in a solid position to get at least a couple of frags from here, but he needs his teammates to come good as well. Oh, JKS so close for the 3rd kill, but Stewie clutches with 4 health. Cloud9 somehow pull it out the bag.
How in the Sam hell does Stewie get both kills with that P250? I wish we had the replay function where we could see it from his perspective, because that to me is wild. JKS also doing some fine work. I mean, that's all down to timing, and he manages to even, hear Stewie go for the run. He was in position. One more bullet would have dropped Stewie. And we will have the replay here from the start from Shroud, and then this is just so unfortunate. Yeah, that's just...
It's one of those kind of situations where Azza can't really have too much to say about it, because it's like, you killed me, but fair enough, you at least killed him too.
It's just the execution, right? And here we go. Here's the quick long take from Renegades. So we're starting to see some variety here. The nade superiority, though, from Cloud9 really getting shown. Azza and Yam haven't even seen anybody yet in their low, but Ustillo with the aggression on B will pick up a kill. Yam trades with nothing at long, and now Shroud is there to actually bring it back to a 3-on-3. But just action all across the map here to start off this round.
Yeah, I'm loving that this Dust2 so far has been explosive. Typically, a lot of them are very slow and steady, and you see executes towards the end, but this has been balls-to-wall aggression by both teams, to be honest, so loving it so far. Cloud9 have a real chance now, though, to gradually claw their way back into this one. 3-on-3, Skadoodle does have the cross, but there are 2 smokes in play for Renegades. One of them surely going to be thrown out unless they don't want to telegraph this peak, but Skadoodle will claim the kill onto Ustillo. Did take a little bit of a love tap in the process, but that trade is huge for Cloud9.
And then denies the ability to trade from Ricky as well with that incendiary. That's nasty stuff. Shroud, for some reason, is at top mid peeking, though, and that actually gives it up. Brings it back to a 2-on-2. 45 seconds left now. And JKS rotating over. Seems like they want to take that fight up on the catwalk here. Not a bad call at all. With Shroud down, that opens up long, and they're playing off of this. 30 seconds left here for Renegades. And Skadoodle is watching the long cross, but nobody's going to be coming from long, Ska. They're going up catwalk straight away. Very nicely done here from Renegades. A great read on the situation.
That's the key thing. They read this situation so well, and they are executing as a result. Skadoodle was playing passively. You can't blame him in the CT spawn as he was by himself. But this retake is still very much a possibility. They have a Molotov, but JKS rips off the head of Automatic, and now Skadoodle has to come in. Ricky will take him down too. Renegades are looking phenomenal right now. Cloud9 finally get themselves around after 6 in a row, and now they've just been reset. So their economy is in the dumps. It's going to be a while before we see another AWP in play.
That was a Hollywood teabag right there. Jumping off and landing perfectly. Very well done. And Ricky again with the timing. Nearly gets the follow-up as well. All right, they're starting to get dialed in here, Renegades. 7-2. Excellent scoreline so far. Yeah, might get shot in the side of the head, and yep, Automatic gonna land some shots there, making it a bit interesting. With the flash as well, that perfect flash costs Automatic, but still nothing managed to pick up a kill. Estillo, however, will just restore order, and it's all on Shroud now at long, down to 1 HP. Shroud, just keep peeking. There we go. Not wasting any time. Moving on into the 10th round, into the 11th, and there's the buy.
As a result of going for this buy, though, they are be a little low on quite a few things. For example, I don't think we're going to see a kit from Cloud9 in this round. Maybe nothing can force one out, so we actually have Skadoodle gets the kit in the end. No HEs, no incendiaries, so for mass, Cloud9 are digging deep here to try and get some results. Renegades go from strength to strength.
I mean, Ska has the kit at least, right? So they have one kit. Just have to hope that that guy happens to die in the right spot and leave that kit around, you know, so you can actually get the defuse. We'll see. It's not done yet, but Renegades, they really are off to an excellent start here in this first half. 8-2. And they've got long control once again here. We're seeing a little bit of variety out of Cloud9, counting on Ska to hold long from a passive angle, instead focusing on catwalk here, Cloud9.
It turns out I'm blind. Shroud does have a HE. For some reason, I thought he didn't have any. No incendiaries, though, on the board. Cloud9 playing this one fairly centralized around A. Nothing is going to go for a peek. Alongside Shroud, Estillo and Az just round the corner. Already long control is starting to be asserted by Renegades. They have a player in pit and 2 just next to him on the blue container. So Renegades already in a pretty solid position, and if nothing goes down alongside his teammate there on catwalk, things are going to get really dicey real fast. However, Shroud is going to land the headshot. Nothing could very well get the second one. Shroud actually will get it done for his team. And this is where the catwalk control is so important for the CTs, because Shroud can quickly wrap himself around, get up in the face of Renegades, and stop them from getting a plant for a little while longer. He will die, however, and that could be the plant now going down for the Aussies.
And Cloud9 now have seconds to pick up a kill and give themselves some kind of push to get onto this bomb site. If they get slowed down here, they only have the single kit. It's on Skadoodle. And he's over here. I mean, he's down in CT spawn as well, so he actually needs to make his way up onto the site. Rick is going to find Stewie 2K, and that should pretty much snuff it here. There really is no chance left for Cloud9. They are stacking up, and Ska is close. Nice attempt at a headshot there from Automatic. He will get one spray. Spots out the second man. JKS dies, but Ricky is still alive in pit, and that should be ending it, except that Skadoodle's going to hit the headshot. Do they have the time, though? Skadoodle going to get on that bomb. He's got that kit, and just barely going to make the defuse. What a retake from Cloud9, and I mean, I'll admit, I didn't think it would be possible.
No, I was right along with you. I thought that's it. Automatic lands 2 sick headshots, and Skadoodle lays Ricky to rest. Beautiful work by Automatic here, especially the second kill. JKS gets demolished, and Cloud9 with a much-needed third round, and maybe that's the moment where the fortunes begin to change and Cloud9 can get their way back into this. I've got to say, Ricky has been amazing so far with this AWP. Like, his reaction speed is godlike.
Oh, they messed up the incendiary. He had an opportunity there to pick somebody up. Nothing. By the skin of your teeth, you survived. I think maybe there was some miscommunication there, or Ricky was trying to... looked like he had a grenade in his hand when JKS got shot. So, unfortunate turn of events there for Renegades. That's definitely a round that they should have won. But it's 8-3. They still have a pretty fantastic lead here on Dust2 so far, and they are on the T side. We do expect them to come out ahead, but they still have the chance here to just completely ruin Cloud9's economy and run away with this first half. It is possible. Stewie going to be hunting for Astillo, and he's in his expected spot. Astillo always here in this angle, and they line up. He doesn't have any support, but he still gets 1 kill. And Stewie down to 37 HP as well.
That's honestly not a terrible trade for Renegades. I think they'll take that. Not just 1 kill, but a lot of damage taken. Information also gathered. But I like that Stewie just goes for the hyper-aggression. Terra's probably feeling like he probably backed away to the B site, but that's not the case. He's getting around the back of them. Nothing in the meanwhile goes up long. JKS may have the drop on him, but would he expect Stewie to be behind him? I really doubt it.
Even if Stewie is behind him, though, and Stewie gets picked, now that should be it. Exactly. Renegades know that they can make the play towards the B site. That gives away so much information. Shroud trying to charge his way through. He might make it to the window before they can actually get out into the open, and he will. So he can take the fight and drop Yam. Nice adjustment here from Shroud. Very quick thinking on his part, but still Renegades with the man advantage and out on the site. No utility here for Cloud9 to help them retake either.
15 seconds left. The bomb still hasn't been planted, but JKS is about to do it right here, right now. That molly will not be stopping him, and with the bomb plant, the round pretty much evaporates for the NA squads.
And at least they managed to save 2 guns. And 2 people had survived in the round before this as well. But it's going to be cutting it real close to go for a force buy in this sort of scenario. Especially because you're only getting the 1400. That's going to be 2600, 2500. Not really enough to really work with. I don't know, but then Cloud9 could be starting to feel a little desperate here with Renegades getting up to 9 rounds. They need to start getting some rounds on the board here. I mean, sure, it's a T-sided map, but it's like a 9-6 T-side map, right? Or 8-7. You don't really want to let it go much further than that.
Yeah, I feel like this map's kind of even hard to say exactly where it comes down, because it really does depend on the teams. I mean, there's no doubt that Cloud9 can pull this back on their T side, but it's how much wiggle room do you give yourself, right? Like, if you finish with 3 rounds, the pistol can pretty much just sum up this map right there and then. So they are desperate to get, I'd say, at least 5 here. 5 would be doable. Any less than that, and they're going to be really struggling.
Well, here we go. There's the force buy. And Auto, like, look at this, Skadoodle. I love the movement out there so quickly. He's just not able to capitalize. Stewie gets spotted on B slope as well. And Cloud9 trying to go for the big hero plays, and it just didn't pan out for him. That sucks for Skadoodle, though, because that was really aggressive. That was beautiful movement, and it just doesn't pay off.
Lots of players from Renegades are exceptionally low, though. It just takes Shroud to step up big here, and things could have turned around, but his woes continue. Hasn't really been too much of a thorn in the side of Renegades. Automatic now with his Deagle in no man's land in mid. Renegades will have a 10th round, and Astillo will put the final nail in the coffin. Cloud9 squirming.
Definitely, like, this is a massive struggle now for Cloud9. They just invested everything in that last round. I mean, they could go for back-to-back force buys, but it's just going to be pistol Kevlar, a couple of nades. They aren't really going to have a whole lot to work with, and they're going to go for pretty much the hard eco again here. Cloud9 in a single half have been forced to go for 2 hard ecos. That's interesting. Like, hard ecos, too. Not the skimpy, you know, we're like, oh, a few P250s, some flashes, you know, like, no. They did invest in a couple of P250s this round, and Yam is figuring that out. Stewie doesn't actually need P250s. He will get 2 kills with a USP and survive on 1 HP.
Why not?
I don't even. And that gives 2 guns now over to Cloud9.
Youthful Stewart with the big plays once again. AK-47, I'm sure, will trade hands as soon as he gets close enough to a teammate, although he is trying to wrap around, so that may not come into play. Cloud9, can you stop the push? Well, Automatic's going to land the headshot with the AK partially through the smoke. A 3-on-2 in favor of C9, but of course, once again, it's going to be a retake, and once again, it's not with a kit. They do have a bit of utility that was picked up courtesy of Stewie's frags. Reke surely is going to put him to rest here. Oh, he does it in style. 1 deeks him to the head. Good night. Both players now for Cloud9 going to be congregating on the catwalk side, pushing into JKS.
Let's see, Reke. Don't overthink things this time around. This is unbelievable. Automatic will get laid low, but Skadoodle's there to trade. And Reke, the bomb is planted for him on long. Should be a straightforward situation here. Skadoodle, is he actually... Yes, he doesn't have the time. No kit. Has to back off and save the AK, but what an expensive round A for Renegades. How close did they come? Cloud9 off of Stewie's hard work. 2 USP headshots. Okay, then.
I guess they can just cry into their 11 rounds, though. It's like, it's expensive, sure, but it's the last round of the half, and we're absolutely wrecking you scrubs. Like, they do not care. And, you know, going back to that point that you raised before about how many economies we've seen, it's why we've only seen Skadoodle have an up 3 or 4 rounds on the CT side. Like, he hasn't been as prevalent as they were talking about on the desk, and Reke, once again, is hunting for those wall bangs.
I like it. A little bit of a throwback there to older times with the flash up the top mid. Oh no, Stewie. He's gonna get caught. Or did he spot him? Did he realize? He did realize. Ustillo trying to get clever, and Stewie not gonna be able to find the kill. Somehow, Stewie comes out way behind in that situation, down to 37 HP.
Those are some seriously impressive Neo skills. Dodging bullets left, right, and center. How is he not dead? He lost minimal health as well.
He lost 10 HP. Okay then.
Looked like he was getting rinsed through the smoke.
11-3. And Ustillo, one of the luckier times for him, for sure.
Eerie silence falls on the battlefield as neither team seemingly wanting to push just yet. Still time to play with. Renegades throwing out the smokes. Here comes the set play onto the site. Nothing has mollies and flashes whizzing past his ears. But he is actually pretty much undeterred, unmolested by all this damage that's being gone on all around him. Lands the first headshot. Can he get any more? Yes, he can with a second. Can't transition for a third, but he's surely done enough damage now for the rest of his team to capitalize. It's a 4-on-2, and Renegades trying to hold on for dear life.
This is so silly. Skadoodle actually got a jumping op shot on Catwalk as well. So, okay then. Nice. I do like the attempt there with the utility and the follow-up smoke as well. That gives JKS some room. He's going to trade 1 for 1, but Rick is still on the wrong side of the smoke. He hits the shot. Stewie gets legged. Oh my... What? He actually hits that. It's a leg shot.
That was some MLG sort of stuff there. Looked like what was.
Where are the air horns?
If he landed that shot, I don't think either of us would have been able to deal with the outcome. Both our voices would have been dead.
No, he hits
what
it.
Is that?
He hits it. It's the leg shot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That would have been a god tier deny. That would have been incredible. Ricky, nice try, man. Seriously, that was a thing of beauty. All right. Well, I mean, we still end the half at 11-4 for Renegades. That is a fantastic scoreline for Renegades. I mean, just never really allowing Cloud9 to get that economic game rolling for them. Never really allowing them to get into the half. Stewie sitting at the top with 12 kills, but automatic, fairly absent. Skadoodle, nothing really. No, but really just, I mean, the story is that nobody really able to hit their shots in hard carry for Cloud9. Instead, it was really the Renegades show. So now we switch halves, 11-4, Renegades on the CT side. And it's going to be up to Cloud9 to change things up. Nothing going for the utility, looking to Skadoodle. What are his options? It's going to be Kevlar. So for Kevlar, 2 flashes of smoke is what Cloud9 have to work with here.
What's ridiculous as well is Rick has taken a lot of the plaudits for his impactful kills and the manner in which he's getting them. But JKS has romped to 20 kills in that first half. He's 20 for 6, somewhere around that. It's unbelievable. Rick is the first player to die, and it's up to that man, JKS, to answer the call of his fallen comrade that died just in front of him. Az is going to play aggressive up mid. Gets the drop on Shroud, but misses the shots. Finally does connect it, but he's not going to get chased down. I thought for a second maybe we were going to see a retaliation instantly. The avenging frags a little bit slower than both teams would like, but it has gone down to a 4-on-4.
They continue to challenge. Skadoodle getting dropped down to 21 HP up in T-Spawn. With a minute left on the clock now, it's up to Cloud9 to find a way into the sites, and Ustillo has rotated all the way over towards A. He's sitting watching long. We've got Azza watching Catwalk, but it is going to be Cloud9. They're just looking for the running gun. They're looking to make their way up onto the site. Nothing has got the smoke to block off CT. Out it goes. Ustillo's not going to be able to call to his mates and take a bullet promptly to the face.
Damn, that is one hell of a one-tap. I'm going to say the USP at this kind of range is so dominant, but of course the terrorists have one of their own, and Automatic's going to put it to use against Azra as well, leaving Yam and JKS. Stewie with 2 beautiful one-taps in mid, and Cloud9 are becoming just what we expected. Maybe this is the start of the comeback.
That's as good as it gets, Stewie. Doesn't get much cleaner than that. Man.
That's finger-licking good right there in mid. How do you even contend against that? Like, just nothing you can do.
Well, that's both pistol rounds picked up for Cloud9. So that's already solid. Now we have to see if they can actually win the second round, because in the first half, Cloud9 lost the following round after the pistol. Giving themselves a good shot at it here, however. They've got 3 rifles, a scout, and an SMG on Cloud9. And they've got long control. And I like the quick thinking here from Renegades. They're like, right, we lose long, instantly rotate, double boost up to catwalk, and try and put some pressure there. They want to try and hold on to one of the main alleys into that A site.
Renegades centralized on the CT side. 3 Deegs, 1 P250, and Ricky, of course, wants that up. So just the USP for him. Shroud, meanwhile, is going to be taking point with the back 10. Crossing as they do, and not really a great deal landing from Renegades. In fact, absolutely nothing on the approach. So Cloud9 are going to get this one down freely. And from here on out, it should be a complete bloodbath with Renegades conceding all the frags. So Cloud9 will step one foot closer to making this a comeback. Still a lot of work, though.
They do pick up Stewie's AK, actually. That's pretty solid. So a bit of an unlucky break there for young Stu, but still, let's see if, I mean, Cloud9, do you want to risk hunting it? It's going to be tricky. I mean, if you've got Shroud with the MAC-10, that's the perfect person to put in there, but now he gets traded as well. So still able to hold on to this AK, gets that incendiary down. That's going to buy even more time. Nothing just doesn't want to go running right through there, especially because nothing actually has the Galil. If anything, what would be ideal exactly is that Skadoodle runs into him and lands some kind of crazy shot here to drop him, because you want to hold on to the remaining 2 rifles if you're Cloud9, and they will actually hang on to it. Ustello, and now he has an AK to work with in this round.
So it does give them a power play. Of course, they're in no quick rush to get rounds. They've got a buffer still of 5. So I wouldn't expect to see a great deal bought behind this. Just Yam with the Deagle. USPs amongst the rest of them. So where is this AK going to be going for Stillo? 3 or 4 players going on catwalk, JKS in mid. Now Stillo's going to be going straight up middle with the AK. I'm loving how ballsy this play is. And if Shroud had gone down there, things could have got really sticky real fast. And the problem is for Renegades, sure, they get Shroud down, but he shredded through so many players and, of course, got all the information in the process.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. JKS, he's nearly picking up 1 there as well. Ricky gonna be able to pick up the 1 kill of his own. Azza just hoping for some lucky spray here versus Skadoodle, and it's not gonna happen. Scott with the fadeaway takes him down, and it's gonna be Yam now with 4 HP. He survived the encounter earlier on with Shroud. But Cloud9, they managed to stabilize. Bit surprised that they weren't able to play off the information. I guess they were just waiting. They were so confident, Cloud9, that in their ability to win the duels, even if Renegades were gonna push elsewhere, because they only did spot the 1 player going towards B. That would usually be a signal to say, okay, only 1 on B. He's late over to B as well. We're just gonna we have 2 guys in Upper Dark. Just go into B, take over B, and there we go. It seems like they were pretty happy to just kind of wait around, take the fight when it came to them, and Renegades were kind enough to gift it. Well, 11-7 here for Renegades still, CT side, but this is the big turning point here. 19th round, Renegades with the bye, and Cloud9 fully equipped, everything they could need.
Skadoodle not quite connecting on the cross. Renegades with a very aggressive long hold. Stillo down into pit, and then Incendiary just to stop the terrorists from forcing through. However, they're going to be probing through mid instead. And with smokes in the eyes of Azza, you can't really see a great deal from the CT Spawn. He's going to decide to push through there. Not going to cost him his life.
Yeah, it's going to be that delayed take, and there it is, Shroud. Beautiful shot onto Estillo, gets that headshot. Now Ricky, he's caught in the open. An excellent flash to open things up here for Cloud9, and we're starting to see that T side very effective here for Cloud9 so far. Forces Renegades to instantly, just set up to save. They cannot hope to retake this versus a fully alive and equipped Cloud9.
Cloud9 looking confident on their T side. Yeah, we'll put down Stewie, but there's no real chance of getting a retake, so it is going to be a save. Renegades will tap out of this round, keeping 3 M4s potentially in play. Of course, Cloud9 will have a few things to say about that. Their economy has been ticking up nicely, so I'm sure they will hunt with at least 1 player. JKS hasn't landed a single kill in this second half. He finished the first one with 20, and he's still on there, so some signs that Renegades may be slowing down a little bit, running out of steam.
Yeah, well, I mean, we also need to be looking towards Azza right now. He's sitting on 6 kills. Like, that's not quite good enough. Like, his team right now, he is one of the heavy hitters on the team. I mean, sure, you have Ricky, you have Yam, but really, like, Azza, he needs to be able to actually deliver, and he's going to be one of the players with the rifle this round. And it is going to be the force buy here. Saving 3 guns, that was enough. They're going to commit to this Renegades, and it's a pretty solid buy, all things considered, at least on the nade front. UMP and Mag 7 to work with on the other two players who weren't able to save their M4s. And back into fairly standard stuff here for Renegades at least. Default hold, although Azza, like, zero presence at long right now from Renegades. They've completely given that part of the map up. Instead, it's a full focus on Catwalk.
Yeah, they do have 3 incendiaries to play with, so maybe realizing the retake could be quite fruitful as long as they keep all their players alive. Maybe they can nick a couple kills away from the Catwalk as well. But as you called, though, with having no long control, at some point you're going to start to get that chill down your spine as to, are they coming up around the back of us? Are we about to just get wrecked from the A site itself? You've got to keep half a mind across there.
And in the meantime, they're covering a B split as well, with the player down in CT spawn. That is Azza going to be playing that important location, but Cloud9 not interested. They've got long control now, 3 players, soon to be 4 out here, ready to push that A site. And Renegades have yet to see anybody on Catwalk. Instead, it's ZOWIE lurking in Lower Dark right now. This is going to be fairly tough here for Renegades. Cloud9 have hardly used any utility. They still have plenty of grenades to work with. And there it is, automatic, going to catch out Azza. Easy.
Yeah, that incendiary is going to stop any kind of a retake for the foreseeable future. There is still a player as well, Stewie2K in lower tunnels. JKS will best him. Down to 19 though. A 4v4 with only 3 flashes. Is this realistically doable, Renegades, especially when you have players that are low? And I think there's your answer. A resounding no.
Yeah, tough scenario, but eventually you are going to have to go for that win. You are going to have to try and take that fight and win it. You can't perpetually try and save your guns, because Cloud9 will just continue to step forward. With the 4 players surviving here for Cloud9, it's just starting to get a bit out of control. This is probably one of the more rich T sides that we've seen so far today. Just because in the first game of the day between Kinguin and Dignitas, it was just so scrappy, a bunch of 1v1s, 2v2s, nobody really surviving, no real bank to work on. Here we're starting to see Cloud9 start to develop that bank. That's a round where they kept 3 players alive, followed by a round that they kept 4 players alive. Means that they have quite a bit of money, automatic, nearly 13,000. So this is where Cloud9 should really start feeling comfortable.
Again, though, if I'm on Renegade's side, I'm still not panicking just yet, because Rick has only had, I think, 1 AWP on this half, and that's really where he was shining on the first half. So I think get another one back into his hands, maybe there's a couple of outs. That being said, in this round, a 1-for-1 trade. Shroud is dead alongside a Stillo. Long is certainly where the battlefield is at its most explosive. Azza and Stewie2K now trade out kills, and there's Stewie with the second one. Rick and JKS, the only 2 CTs that are left alive, and Rick is all by himself. JKS could not be any further away at this point. He's going to have to rotate for the next 15-20 seconds. So Rick is going to be using this smoke to his advantage. You can see the smoke and the shadows just peering down, but doesn't want to give his position away too early. Oh, he misses that shot from point-blank range. That is awkward. And that is the round probably slipping away. I'm speechless.
I don't even know, dude. Like, Rick is literally just nodding at him through the smoke. Like, he had an idea. He knew where he was. Just didn't want to give it away. Didn't dare take the shot through the smoke, hoping to get lucky. Ah, man, that's painful. And while they continue to close the gap and they continue to grow their economy here, Cloud9, if they keep 3 players alive, that's just the ticket. JKS, sole man alive here for Renegades. But Cloud9, they're going to bring it up to double digits after this round. It'll be 10-11. And I mean, right now, there's a reason why Cloud9, they like to play Dust2. Their T side right now is looking very good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's remind everybody that was an 11-4 finish?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Cloud9, this has just been the Cloud9 show. 6 rounds in a row for them so far, and they're definitely looking strong. They should be primed to take the next one as well, considering Renegades, well, no, they'll have the money to buy. Ah, and there's the view. We got the LAN.
That's true with a 4K in that round as well. An instrumental 4K. Just when you're looking for someone to step tall. 20 for 15 he now moves to. But Rick does have an AWP, and this is where things maybe can get back into manageable territory for the Aussies. Skadoodle again tries his luck through mid. No dice for him this time around.
Yeah, waiting to see some flash plays out of Ricky, basically, with that AWP. On Dust2, he certainly is comfortable. We saw him really just, you know, very strong in the first half. But we're starting to see Cloud9 come back to the basics. I like that they clear out mid first. That's Stewie just taking over Catwalk, making sure that there will be no quick rotation. Doesn't mean that there isn't a 2-1-2 happening here, however. So this is an ideal setup now for Renegades to deal with any kind of B push.
Well, the smoke goes in. JKS is in prime position to strike. There's one and a second. Going to be spraying through the smoke as he realizes there must be more lurking in the shadows. That flashbang wrecks him, but also hits on the terrorist too. Automatic lands himself 2 frags, but he's going to be put to rest. And that's on Skadoodle, but not for much longer. Azza with a quick 3K. Renegades, very fortunate that JKS was in the right place at the right time. They regain the lead once more, and they lift the curse of their CT side.
They finally break the streak. So now, can they maintain? That's the question. Can they maintain? Can they chain rounds together on that CT side? And it looks like they're predicting Cloud9. They are going to put quite a presence over here at long. Already the man across the Stewie, not going to survive this time. Astillo will find the kill. Nobody joining Stewie on that long push. That incendiary, too well timed, just cuts them in half. And the aggression coming in here from Upper Dark. Automatic going to get caught completely off guard by that, not expecting there to be some kind of, like, after the first pick at long, last thing you'd expect is for Renegades to be pushing Upper Dark as well.
All 3 Cloud9 members realizing their strength and unity. They'll be pushing down mid together as one. The issue really is this next point. It's all well and good getting to this stage, but it's what do you do next that really counts. Flash over in mids. They do have 2 smokes to play with, so they could smoke off CT side. The issue being that Renegades have 2 players over on the B side, so they can easily peek out of window and doors and kneecap the oncoming Cloud9 members. Oh, Skadoodle with the peek. He is going to get flashed in return. Azza will get the trade. And a decent trade at that. It's the Norpa dead and buried on Dust2. That's always a good bit of information across. But nothing in Shroud have managed to actually break through onto A and get the bomb planted in the next few moments. So maybe there's another twist left in this round after all.
Certainly bolster their economy coming forward. There we go. Shroud lines them up and nothing. Turns it into a 1v1. Unbelievable. He even spots out the man at long, but it's going to be too little, too late, not able to hit the shot. It's Astillo who's going to be there to clutch it for Renegades. But that certainly was a bit more expensive than Renegades we were hoping for there. With the 2-on-4 scenario, you're definitely expecting just strength in numbers to carry you through. It did happen in the end, but still, losing 3. That's Shroud for you, though. 2 big kills from him.
I honestly began to believe when Shroud gets the double spray, nothing lands himself a kill. And Astillo actually had 2 bites at that kill as well. Like, nothing had to spin around. He nearly had enough time to land a crazy flick shot. The Renegades, just when it looked like Cloud9 had them beat on their CT side, they come back with 2 of their own rounds and regain a 3-round lead. So Cloud9 are battling once again. And they are depleting through that money at a fairly fast rate.
Yeah, 10-13 now. I mean, Renegades, they succeeded in chaining. But still, only with the 1 surviving, it doesn't mean that they have very much money. So this is where it starts to get pretty fun here. This is where the pressure begins to build. And let's remind you all, this is best of 1 in the group for every match. Not a best of 3 losers or a best of 3 winners or any of that sort. No. You win through, you win 2, you're through. You lose 2, you're going home.
And the loser of this match plays Optical Gambit next. So there are no gimme matches here. Ricket's going to miss his opportunity and actually gets picked on the approach, maybe assuming that Cloud9 would be a bit slower. Azza has a chance, sees a couple of heads popping up, only can do damage to Stewie and not land the kill. And Renegades are bowing out this round at an alarmingly fast rate. I guess that's really where you come back to Azza not having the greatest of games. You know, you expect him to get at least 1 frag from that position normally.
Yeah, you do actually. You would see some players really turn that into a shooting gallery, but it didn't happen for him. He has woken up somewhat. He's up to 11 kills now, but still slow going. And you can see that right now the money is not looking good for Renegades. Still, I mean, you have to give it to Ricky. I mean, Dust2 CT side, a lot of it is off of taking risks, right? You push at the right time, you get the kill, you try and really turn things to your way. And so going for what was a fairly passive angle, on for what was a very passive angle, rather, with an AWP looking towards catwalk. Had he hit that shot and traded 1-for-1, okay, there could be something there. It's just the fact that he misses that shot, and then Cloud9 were close enough to capitalize on that, and then move together as a unit, that there were 3 guys stacked up well as well, you know, good spacing between them so that they could trade effectively. Like, it all kind of fell into place for Cloud9. Very nice and neat there, unfortunately, off of the one play-making attempt there by Rikke. But you have to make that kind of play. You have to. Just holding passive all the time, especially on Dust2, it isn't going to work.
Renegades able to yield out another buy, including 2 UMPs and 3 assault rifles. They do have a kit, and they do have a few nades to play with, so not quite out of this just yet. I'm just curious how Cloud9 are going to aggress on this, because I'm assuming that Renegades will hold fast for the time being. You have 2 SMGs, you don't necessarily want to play super aggressive on them up like Dust2. Just hold the angles, wait for the terrorists to push you. This could be more of a slow, steady round. Skloodle has already shown that he's happy enough peeking through mid, even without smoke coverage. I'll definitely keep Renegades on the edge of their seats. But it seems like long control may be on the cards as Automatic is starting to push out by himself.
Waiting for it, not sure. He's not hearing steps from his enemies. It's Rikke instead who's stepping around. There's one grenade, perfectly timed. Aza with the big spray, and it's going to take too long. Stewie, you can't give him that kind of chance. He'll take your head off, and he does. But then Ustillo's there for the double kill. Fantastic work from him.
Automatic's also been dropped low. And looks like nothing is going to try an avenging charge, but that's going to cost him his life. No luck to be had on B for the time being, and Skadoodle's now going to be peeking. He's got the bomb in his hands, but how do you deal with this? Maybe draw JKS out into the open, lands the first frag, but he must know there's a second player on B. Now Automatic is trying to jump on top of that. And it is Yam who's on 21 health, so he's not too far away from death. And Automatic will put down Ustillo. Yam, in the meanwhile, though, holding the angle on the car is good for 1. Automatic comes through with a kill of his own. Is he going to be caught while switching weapons? No, he hears Rikke running through with 10 seconds left, lands the headshot. Renegades concede another super close round.
I'm at a loss, Metas, at this point. This is where, and you have the timeout getting called by Cloud9 as well. 2-minute timeout. Interesting. Do Cloud9 really just want Renegades to stew for as much as possible right now? Because Renegades, their economy is broken after that round. And just very quick decisions coming out here from Renegades, and not all of them the best. Automatic keeps his cool, gets a read on Rikke, and wins that duel. 13-12 right now. Renegades, I mean, they had an 11-4 first half. Just to remind you all, 11-4 on the first half. And right now they're getting completely run through on this second half on their CT side.
Yep, only 2 rounds on their CT side. They did come back to back. And it looked like, I think that was when we were at 13-10, it was looking like maybe, you know, it's going to start to tip the scales back in their balance again. But Cloud9, ever resilient. 13-12, no economy for Renegades. Cloud9 looking good to maybe even take the lead. How are Renegades going to play this? Because they really, I think they got a P250 and they bought a flash or maybe a smoke of some description. But that's about it. Rikke goes out and he will die first. Automatic in the meanwhile does get the molly kill onto Aza as it was placed just behind the smoke. And that is all she wrote for round 26. Maybe Yam can get himself a cheeky kill, but that's going to be it. So Cloud9 are going to equalize this up at 13 apiece.
Renegades are tilting off the planet right now. Just running in one after another. I mean, it is the hard eco for them. They are already like writing this round off, but still, just target practice right there for Cloud9. Target practice. That's a feel-good moment, basically. You don't want Automatic Stewie to be feeling any better. How did Stewie take so much damage? He must have jumped down in the CT. Doesn't matter. Nothing is going to pick up the kill on JKS. Tied up 13-13. They've succeeded. Cloud9 have run it back the entire way. And now we have to see, are they going to be able to just continue on this death train and stomp Renegades into the ground? I mean, they are so close. They've got the economy. They've got everything they need right now, Cloud9, to get the job done. Renegades will be able to get a buy together. Decent nade count. No kits, however.
And no AWP either. A map like Dust2, that's pretty essential. So how are they going to be looking to get into this round? Are we going to see any aggressive pushes? We saw in previous rounds in similar situations, Renegades went for that 2-man push through tunnels. and try to take control over at least that side of the map. But this time, more centralized in mid. It's going to be Yam up alongside Azza. And Catwalk is already being aggressed on from Cloud9.
Interesting to think that Nothing is the one who's lurking upper halls this time as well. Stewie moving with the unit. So that's just going to set up the incendiary. Just a little bit of pressure here from Nothing. He's really going ham with that spray, though. There was perhaps an opportunity to punish, but not really. Doesn't pan out. Instead, it's going to be Cloud9. Straight catwalk push, about as simple as it gets. And Ricky kind of roasting there. Down, he loses 25 HP to that. But everybody is still alive without a single kill. Now it's up to Renegades to retake this.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Nothing throwing in that molly then spraying through is it meant that no one could get up around the back of them as they were pushing on Catwalk because they were too scared. But he has gone down. Ricky and Azza have both got themselves kills. Automatics answered back, but once again, it's a case of the retake. And Renegades are getting the trades where it counts. It's all on Shroud. He goes down. Renegades, out of nowhere, just winning duels across the map. They will regain the lead once again.
That's Nothing basically thinking, well, stand my ground, got to take the fight. Doesn't work. Loses that duel, and then Skadoodle, same thing. You think that he's going to hit that shot every day of the week, but it doesn't happen. So a bit of pressure here on Cloud9. 14-13 for Renegades. Cloud9, they have all the money for a buy, so that's not the issue. It's when they are just allowed to walk up onto the site for free, and they aren't able to capitalize and win. So now the question, okay, do we go back to that long take? There are quite a few nades going. Automatic going to be leading the way this time around. Is still low again. This is just a ballet that we're watching. Everything falling into place one step after another, and all of these flashes. This is wild.
It's such a good position to be in now for Renegades. They've got Estillos in pit, and same time as a couple of smokes on long, so Cloud9 can't be 100%. There's not a second player up there, but now they have realized that's the case as Stewie goes in and gets himself the kill. Rick in the meanwhile on the car with Azza trying to hold A desperately while the rest of Renegades start to make a move in. And Nothing is going to be a dead man as Yam pushes up round the back of them. Here comes Ricky. There's the first one. Throws out the smoke. And a second one for Ricky. He's going to start to burn to a crisp. He has to get back out into the open, and in doing so, Shroud will claim himself the kill. Surely this is a round for Renegade. Shroud is a monster, but he's been tamed. Renegades will take a 15-13 lead, and what a time to start to get a streak together.
There we go. The work is paying off in the end, and now they'll have all the money. They'll be able to pass everything along, and this was just... I don't want to say disjointed. It's just that Renegades, it was a very quick push from Yam on Catwalk. They gave him all the information. They fully rotated over. They just got the read on Cloud9. Cloud9 not able to actually capitalize on that A long take either. Really stuck the what, a stick in their wheel, you know? They just kind of went flipping over the handlebars there, straight into Ricky.
Well, you could see that Nothing from his position, he absolutely did not expect anyone to be pushing around the back of him. He was still on the staircase, little alcove, just peering up into the sky. So definitely caught Cloud9 with their pants down. And now Renegades, they've got 2 map points. We could have 2 successive upsets.
Well, Cloud9 are going back to what was successful in the past, at least the first part of it, which was getting up onto the site and going for the plant. 4 players gathered up, ready to walk up Catwalk. They have all the nades necessary with the flashes and the incendiaries as well to clear out the different parts of the site. They will have the flash to force Ricky to give off of this angle, and Nothing waiting for the rotation in mid. So we'll see if it can pan out the same way as it did last time, because they will succeed in getting the bomb plant here, Cloud9.
This is textbook retake formation, though, by Renegades. 2 players in long. Rick is waiting for that smoke to clear, for disperse, so he can start to get some victims in his sights. Meanwhile, Yam is going to be coming up from CT. The elevator boost is always an option at this kind of stage. The flashes are landing. Yam is unable to see a single thing, but here it goes. Shroud with 2. He's able to actually dart off the site as well in the meanwhile. Comes up with a 3rd. Here comes Yam, though. It's a one-on-one. All to play for. Cloud9 need this clutch to stay in this map. He's going to tickle the bomb. Shroud out in the open, and Yam lands the headshot. Does he have enough time? It's going to be close.
Not this time.
Oh, the heartbreak. Cloud9 take it, but just...
Not this time. We've had a couple of those today. You know what? We've also had a couple of metas. We've had a couple of overtimes already today in a single map, and I'm feeling another round of overtime coming up here. because that was it. That was Renegades. Their backs are broken now in this round. You can see 3 UMPs, 2 pistols. That's what they can afford. That was their chance to just shut Cloud9 out. But again, the underdogs not able to get the job done.
I'd like you to cast your mind back to the 30th round in the previous map, where Magisk went with the UMP, 3 sexy spray downs. Maybe Renegades have that in the locker. Maybe.
I mean, yeah, okay. If Azza, well, no, not Azza, Astillo or JKS or Ricky, I could see it. Ricky's got his Deeg. It's kind of like an op, you know, 1 shot, 1 kill. It's there, the potential.
It's in someone's hands that's very capable, almost like a mini op, and can really change the tide of a round back in your team's favor. And he's playing aggressively with it too. You haven't really seen Renegades in these kind of positions before. The only one I'm thinking of is when Astillo had the lone assault rifle and pushed right up mid with it. The Cloud9 are getting a lot of the map under their control. Now Long is starting to fall. Yam maybe can get the drop on to Stewie as he backs away, but he's a bit too fast.
Yep, there's the full rotation coming out now, though, because of this push. And so they have the smoke set up here. This is interesting. Everybody on Renegades, they know exactly what Cloud9 are doing at this point.
It's only 30 seconds too, so it just takes a couple kills, and this round could be over before it's even begun for Cloud9. That flashbang is absolutely pixel perfect, and Astillo's going to get himself 1 kill. Shroud does come back with another one, but here comes Azza now. And still 15 seconds left. Cloud9 have got to get on the site. They've got to start getting some kills. 10 seconds. Azza is refusing to die. JKS comes up with a frag as well. And Stewie, he gets a kill, but he's got 5 seconds. All the Renegades have to do is hide. And this round and this map will be theirs.
It's over. The big upset again, Renegades. Today is the day. DreamHack Open, where Dignitas will fall to Kinguin and Renegades will take down Cloud9 in 30 rounds. Okay, then. That's how we're starting off this tournament, Metas.
What could you even say? The 2 favorites to take this event have both lost their opening games and are now in a position, if they lose their next best of 1, they are out of DreamHack Winter. It is that simple.
That's it. Sometimes this is how it breaks down, right? Where it's just not going to go according to plan. Hello, everybody. Yeah, no, this is wild. I mean, definitely not expecting Renegades. Like, Renegades are the kind of team right now that you'd expect to be fighting for 2nd seed, right? If they're feeling it, if they're looking good, they should not be able to go up toe-to-toe versus Cloud9. And the same could be said for Kinguin versus Dignitas. Dignitas, clear favorite to win the whole thing. Apart from Cloud9, I mean, you kind of expect the 2 of them to run into each other later on as the playoffs.
Absolutely, and considering that, we said this before, but in Group B, you've got Optic, you've got Gambit. At this point now, Cloud9 could be facing either or. That's not an easy game either. No. So there's a very real chance now that Cloud9 could end up getting knocked out of the event.
Especially Gambit. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, Adrian, like that, dude. That's going to be good. I'm looking forward to seeing Gambit play right now. But now we get to go to the stage to hear what Smix has to say. She's got an interview ready for us. Let's go, Smix.
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations, Yam. I can already tell that you have a lot to say about that map on Dust2. But before we dive into those specific details, coming into this first match, just knowing how strong C9 looked on Dust2 at IM Sao Paulo, did that affect how you guys prepared at all?
Honestly, not really. We know they're a good Dust2 team, but so are we. We really expected this to be the map, and it was the map. So yeah, we were prepared. And yeah, came out with a win, so we're really happy.
So let's just jump right into it, because obviously I could tell from the big sigh that came out of you as soon as you came to stand next to me. There's a lot that happened in that match, so walk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't win either of the pistol rounds, which really sucks, but we did eco them back 2nd round of the game. But yeah, I think our T side, we were really successful. We were winning duels everywhere, but then yeah, on the CT side, it was just falling apart, and CT Dust2 is really hard. And yeah, I don't know, we still scraped through 16-14.
So as you said, when things started to fall apart, it's one thing for things to fall apart, but quite another for your team to finally be able to get it back together. So what was going on in the comms, and how are you guys able to do that?
I honestly don't know. Like, I feel like we weren't really playing that bad. Like, we had so many rounds where we saved our guns. So, I mean, like, they just avoided us essentially in the rounds. and we just saved our money, and yeah, just eventually took the fight to them, and yeah, we won the rounds. So yeah.
Well, back at the desk earlier before this match, the desk was discussing Renegades and how the team clearly has the skill level, but sometimes struggles to close out the win at times. So can you speak to that a bit?
I mean, they're right. It does happen to us, but I feel like this game now was like a pretty good example of us at least closing it out. You know, we didn't win either pistol round. We had a bit of a lead, but then we lost it, but then we still came back. We finished it. I'm just really looking forward to our next map. I think we really can still get another win and really top the group, so yeah.
And speaking of your next map, you know each of those two teams, who you might face, so what are your thoughts there?
I think we'll probably face Optic. Probably prefer Optic a bit, I guess. I mean, like, we've played them a lot, obviously. Same with C9, but yeah, I think Optic would be an easier matchup because we know how they play. But yeah, I think probably Optic.
All right, well, congratulations again. We'll look forward to seeing your match later on today. But of course, it's been a very rough day of predictions. Let's head back to Machine so they can break down that match.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme, isn't it, really, Lauren?
There we go.
Different planet.
Freudian slip.
Shout out to Pansy. Thanks very much, though, Sue. Let me go ahead and get that one. How did that happen? I've never done that before.
That's what I'm wondering as well.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I think Matt had one of those as well the other day.
Yes, he did. Let's go ahead, though, and understand why we just keep making these mistakes, just like I do. Another surprise win, this time a little closer, 16-14. We had an overtime in the first where Team Kingwin picked up the win versus Dignitas. The two teams we highlighted as favorites to take this, a potential grand final, and both of them have conceded their first best-of-1 loss. It's just how CS seems to be going at the moment.
Actually, Alex, I don't consider this a wrong day. I consider this the right day because we actually had a player say that the analysts were right.
That is a win. That is a win on so many levels.
But I mean, it was an extremely close game, and I really liked how Renegades played in the first half. They really did a good job of mixing up a bit with the fast-paced executes, like the fast-paced base split, with having a good smoke execute towards the A bomb set, really like carpet bombing that A bomb set with smoke, so Skadoodle was completely taken out of the equation. So yeah, things got a little bit messy in the second half. I think that's where you see how when the pressure gets to them, it gets a bit disjointed.
Yeah, both teams, I mean, I thought, you know, even to me, I mean, maybe this is a little bit cynical. I thought that the big thing about that game is both teams just had very weak CT sides, very, like, bad CT halves. I mean, you look at the Cloud9 CT half, and what it really highlighted to me is you look at Stewie and Automatic playing in that B bomb site. And yeah, Renegades had some success there early on, but I mean, the majority of that game is won over at the A site, where you kind of have three players who just struggled and have struggled to be able to make plays consistently. The only real time you saw plays being made is when Automatic or Stewie was kind of initiating the action. You turn it over, I mean, look at Renegades. They had 2 rounds where Cloud9 takes that A bomb site with all 5 defenders surviving, a 5-on-5 retake, which, I mean, that's extremely difficult to pull off consistently. And then also, I mean, that 4v2 that they lost was a disaster. I mean, that was a lot of bad individual play and mistakes being made there.
I mean, that's what I wanted to bring up, actually, was in the interview with Sue, Yam actually said that Dust2 CT is hard, and I mean, we saw Cloud9, they got 4 rounds on CT side, Renegades got 5. Do you think that his sentiments are mirrored by all teams, or is that kind of exclusive to this matchup? Dust2 CT is hard.
I think it depends on the start and how you get the ball rolling on the CT side. I think it's hard in general, yes, but you can find it easy, so to speak. You win pistol, you have enough economy to work with, and then you're the one taking the game to the T's with different aggression. Sometimes towards catwalk with the AWP, sometimes when you know that the T's don't have an op, you can even have a player push top mid with a rifle while your opper is just holding the mid doors, right? And at that point, it's hard playing the T side because you can't really know where the aggression is going to come from. You have to adjust for all these things. But when you don't have the utility, when you don't have the room to work with, pretty much, then it can be very, very difficult to play the CT side.
I thought also, I mean, he spoke to it in the interview, is the fact that Renegades saved multiple times, like 2-3 guns on rounds where they were clearly out of it, and Cloud9 didn't do the same thing. So you look at all the extra utility and weaponry that Renegades had to work with on their CT side, that all just adds up. I mean, so many more chances to get that one extra round that they needed to win that game 16-14.
And we do also always kind of regularly outline, get that good start if you're coming in as an under-preferred team. However, Renegades Renegades didn't. He made the point as well. We lost both pistols. Renegades conceded both pistols. Yes, they may have got some force back, but the fact that they did so and still picked up the win is testament to what we could have to look forward to from the Aussies here, don't you think? I mean, this is it. This could be the tournament of upsets. I think that's something that we have to consider.
I think the good sign for Renegades to me in that first half was that Ricky with the AWP was, I mean, he was one of those players we mentioned specifically on Dust2 as well, that he was a monster. And with the AWP, I thought he was huge in the first half for Renegades. And yeah, even though they got out to maybe a little, like didn't win the pistol, I think they had a good start overall after winning that second round. I think they just did barely enough. I mean, and here's the thing, here's what's kind of cool about it, is in this tournament where there's no like tier 1 teams, no like massively favored team to just take the whole thing. I mean, yeah, we say Dignitas, but I mean, against some of the teams that are in the rest of this group that they'll be playing up against, they can make some of these individual mistakes and get away with them. They're going to be able to bounce back from them, but you know, moving forward, obviously, you don't want to be making those mistakes. But Renegades, I thought, just looked just a tad bit better despite some of the mistakes.
Yeah, they're going to have to tidy things up both sides, really, to start off this tournament. However, we can take a look at the groups and see where this does leave both Cloud9 and Renegades. They are going to be in that dream scenario alongside, you can see, actually into that losers match. That's what is so scary, is that you are just one game away now on the ropes if you do concede that first. They'll be playing the game a little later on, I think tomorrow. That's them done for today, and you can even see that Cloud9 are full into the losers as
Is the losers match BO1?
No, best 3.
Best of 3, I believe, for elimination.
Cool.
Yeah, Mestis got me nervous when he said, but one best of 1. I was sitting there on the edge. Like, that is
The winner's
scary.
game is best of 1, though.
To get to the semis.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We could be seeing all of that action unfolding a little later on, because you've got something that isn't quite CS to look forward to next. On this very stage, DreamHack, the reason that the house lights are still on is because at 4 o'clock sharp, the event starts. Yes, people have been setting up their PCs already. They've been enjoying some of the luxuries that DreamHack affords you. But when it hits 4 o'clock, the event kicks off. There will be lights, there will be lasers, there will be smoke, there will be noise, and there will be probably some very, very loud hardstyle from what I've heard in the past. It's going to be fun. It's going to be broadcast live on this channel. Afterwards, we'll be jumping back into our third game. We get to see Godsent on home soil doing some damage versus Flipside. So join us after the break for the opening ceremony of DreamHack.
Shortek.